Has it occurred to you that the watches you love and cherish are complete garbage? Well, brace yourselves while I explain. We're diving headfirst into controversy and might just piss off the entire watch community with our debut video. Hopefully, we don't tank the channel in the process before it even gets off the ground. So, grab your popcorn, sit back, and let's watch the horological hate mail roll in. Welcome to FullyLumed. And no, we won't be including Hublot, because that would be too easy. Let's kick off this shit show with a watch so famous and adored, it's practically a rock star. This isn't just any watch, it's a watch that you had, that I had, even my childhood best friend had, or in his case, ate. A watch with more complications than the likes of Vacheron Constantin, Patek Philippe, or Jaeger-LeCoultre could only ever dream of. I am, of course, talking about the legendary Casio F91-W. But how can this £10 marvel make such an unesteemed list? I hear you cry. Put down your pitchforks and torches, folks, and let me explain. You see, that little resin-cased digital watch that found its way onto the wrists of everyone from schoolboys, celebrities, teachers, presidents, accountants, and terrorist leaders, such as Osama bin Laden, who, despite the rumours, didn't meet his demise because he borrowed Audemars F91-W and refused to give it back. It's not true, sorry to disappoint. But hold up, terrorists, you say? And that's exactly why the F91-W makes the list. The watch that you treasured since childhood, the one you lovingly glanced at during boring classes or tedious meetings, has a dark and sinister history. Who knew that your favourite watch was leading a double life? It's always the ones with a face so innocent, you'd think that butter wouldn't melt. Ah, the Casio F91-W, the ultimate statement piece for the modern terrorist. Forget about luxury brands like Rolex or Omega. The F91-W is the go-to choice for those aiming to make a significant impact. Al-Qaeda, in particular, found this gadget so indispensable that they handed them out to new recruits like AK-47s. Nothing screams welcome to terrorism quite like a brand new watch, right? During the War on Terror, US officials at Guantanamo Bay had a foolproof method for identifying potential terrorists. Check if they were sporting an F91-W. Picture the tense interrogations. So, you claim you're innocent, but what if we told you your watch had already grassed you up? So, what makes this watch such a hit among terror organisations? Was it because they had a flair for retro fashion? Or perhaps they admired the F91-W's renowned durability? Of course not. The real reason, according to intelligence officials, is far more practical. This innocent-looking watch, perfect for a child's wrist, was also perfect for timing IED detonations. Its alarm could be set for over 24 hours, making it the ideal choice for those meticulous about their explosion schedules. Take Ramzi Youssef for instance. In 1994, he didn't buy the F91-W to fit in with the cool crowd. He used it in his failed attempt to blow up Philippines Airlines Flight 434. Fast forward to 1999, and multiple IEDs rigged to F91-Ws exploded in 4 Russian apartments, resulting in 367 deaths and over 1,000 injuries. Who knew the trusty and unobtrusive Casio F91-W would become such a reliable tool for mass destruction? What's that? You still don't think a watch synonymous with international terrorism and mass casualties should be on this list? There is another reason. Your crush that rejected you at 13 years old, she'll still reject you today. The reason? It must be the watch. It has to be the watch, right? Oh, but you're a female watch enthusiast that loves the F91-W. Well, I have 2 words for you. Marry me. From the moment you first laid your eyes on a Rolex Submariner, you've lusted after it. It's the perfect watch after all, isn't it? More on that later. You promise yourself that when you get a new job or a promotion, you'll get yourself one. So the time comes, you've earned enough cash, you can finally get yourself a brand spanking new Subby. But what? How? The RRP has skyrocketed faster than your salary, and the AD practically laughed in your face when you asked about availability. You think to yourself, sod it, I'll go on the grey market and see if I can get a deal. What the hell? You say. They're £2,000 more expensive. Back to square one. You log into Friends Reunited to share your sub-story with your mum, your aunt, and that weird kid that used to pick and eat used chewing gum in the school bike shed. But then you notice an ad in the corner. A new grey market? Promising unbeatable prices on luxury watches. Interesting. It must be run by someone called Ali, and they seem to offer express service. You click on the link and are transported to a bizarre website with rabbit holes, annoying pop-ups, odd pricing, and more coupon codes than you could shake a stick at. After spending an hour figuring out why the back button doesn't take you back to where you started, you see it. The San Martin SN0017. It looks great, you think. I can look past the weird little logo, you say. The reviews are excellent and the price? £8,800 below the RRP of the Submariner at today's price, and £9,300 below tomorrow's price. I'll take it, you say. I'll use the rest of the money to buy a Tudor Black Bay 58 and take the family on holiday. A reasonable thought process. You wait 16 weeks for your 7-day shipping to arrive. It was stuck at the sorting office because UK Customs decided to charge you VAT that you'd already paid for at the point of purchase, and the postman clearly couldn't fit the customs charge card in his shorts pockets for a few weeks. You think, it's snowing, mate, why are you still wearing shorts? But then, you remember your parcel. You frantically open it and think there must be a mistake. Judging by the box, they've clearly sent you shell casings from the Vietnam War. But then you crack it open, and there it is. This thing is incredible. Shiny in the right places, brushed to perfection in others, satisfying bezel action, sapphire crystal, and a bracelet that wouldn't feel out of place on a £1,000 watch. How can they get this level of finishing for this price? The little man is really sticking it to the big boys like Rolex with no help at all. Except for the helping hand of the Chinese Communist Party. But who are they, anyway? You're happy with your purchase? Your wife and kids are happy that they're going to Turkey for 2 weeks in the summer? Life is great. Back to your new job. Your role includes quarterly meetings with other high-flying middle managers in the industry. You arrive at your first meeting. You scan the room and zone in on your target. A man, around your age, wearing a Seiko Prospects 1965 Revival. You break the ice. Nice watch. He looks down at your wrist. A familiar sight fills his eyes. Thanks, he replies. But not as nice as yours, he says as he moves for a closer inspection. Oh, what's that? He gasps. It's the first time you've been in this situation. You know what he was expecting because it was what you were expecting when you first started this journey. But you quickly pull yourself together and explain that it's a Chinese watch that costs you the fraction of the price of a Rolex. But it does have comparable finishing to the Rolex. Oh, cool, he says. But you're no mug. You can read body language like the best of them. You're still in awe at the quality of the watch, for the price. You're still happy with your purchase, in theory. But deep down, something has died inside of you. You've realised something that most watch enthusiasts refuse to address. As much as we purchase a watch because we love them, we also buy them to show off and get that self-gratifying dopamine hit when somebody compliments us. Go on, admit it. It's the first step on the road to recovery. At that very moment, you've realised the reaction you witnessed, benign on the exterior as it was, questioned your very belonging. And the worst thing? It'll happen again, and again, and again. You try to fool yourself that it doesn't matter. You'll continue wearing the watch every day, maybe every week, maybe every year, but there it is, gathering dust on your bedside table, unwound for years, and very few prospective buyers the day you finally admit enough is enough. trends. The magnetic pull that convinces us to spend money we don't have on things we don't need. You see it, you don't think about it, then everyone is talking about it, and suddenly you need it. But why do we follow trends? Well, it's because, let's face it, we're all just approval junkies, desperate for validation. We need that nod of recognition, that unspoken agreement that we're part of the cool kids club. Following trends is our way of shouting, "Look at me, I'm relevant." It's about fitting in, dodging the terrifying abyss of FOMO, and, let's be honest, just not wanting to be the oddball in the room. Look, let's be real here. None of us are immune. Listen to me, sneering at the very idea of following trends. Me, a man with not only a PRX that honestly just gathers dust in my watch box, but a PRX in mint green because, well, it looked a little bit like that other trend in the watch community that consumed almost everyone a few years ago, the Tiffany coloured dial. Yes, I went for the quartz PRX, but don't think for a second that was my clever way of snubbing the hype with the cheapest option. No, my friends, I went cheap because I'm a cheapskate. But hey, in my defence, I snagged it at below retail price with a nice discount code. And to be fair, the PRX and other entry-level trend watches do offer decent value. At least, that's what I keep telling myself. Now, let's talk about being fashionably late to the hype watch party, even by just a week or two. It's pretty simple. Open your wallet and bend over. But it's okay, it's a hype watch, you tell yourself. If I need to get out of it, I can easily sell it for what I paid for it, if not more. You almost convinced yourself there, didn't you? Trends, by their very nature, are fleeting. But unlike that cringeworthy Ben Sherman shirt and Adidas poppers combo you sported in the 90s, investing in watch trends is expensive. Very expensive. And all that cash for what? The inevitable hollow empty feeling when the trend dies. Worth it? Absolutely not. Will you fall for it again? Oh, you bet. Just don't bet your house on it. You might need to tap into that equity to pay off your trend watch debt one day. There are plenty of trend and hype watches I could add to this list, but a millionaire losing a few £1,000s on a regret isn't going to cause heartbreak. Neither is buying a PRX or a Citizen. So for this list, I'm playing it safe and going straight down the middle of the road. Trendy, I know. The Kith Hoyer Formula 1. No Mike Tyson puns, please. A hideous little quartz watch with a plastic bezel that was already overpriced at £1,350, but seen popping up on eBay for double its RRP. Have people not learned from the moon swatch? I guess not. If I said, think of a luxury integrated bracelet sports watch, for most of us, one of 2 or 3 watches will pop into our heads. You know, the kind we all daydream about owning one day. The ultimate wrist flex. And again, for most of us, that's all it'll ever be. A dream. But what if, by some cosmic miracle, it didn't stay a dream? What if it actually came true? Have you ever thought about this single inanimate object could take over your life? Could ruin your life? Hey, it might even end your life. So, imagine if you will, that you're a pretty big deal on TikTok. You filmed yourself giving homeless people £1,000 before demanding it back when the cameras stopped rolling enough times to earn a decent wedge of ad revenue. And now you want to get yourself that ultimate statement piece. Something you can use to flex with. Something that says, I have more money than you, without you needing to even make the effort of opening your obnoxious mouth. So, you head into the branch of your favourite grey market store. You would have gone to the AD, but you made a TikTok skit of pretending to rob the place a few weeks ago, and for some reason, screaming, "It's just a prank, bro!" didn't calm the security guards down as they turfed you out and threatened to call the police. Unreasonable of them, I know. You walk up to the sales assistant, and with the tact of a screeching macaw, you blurt out exactly what you're looking for. I want something that screams, I've spent a fortune on this. I need everyone to know just how successful and enviable I am. The sales assistant isn't shocked by your brazenness. This is the third social media influencer he's had in this week. I have something perfect for you, he replies. The Audemars Philippe Royal Nautilus, reference number whatever. Perfect, you'll take it. You have no idea why it's worth what it is. It's just a steel watch after all. You look over at the Omega Aquaterra and prefer the look of that, but no. This watch is the one you want. This watch gives you clout. This watch will make everybody outside think that you're important. You can't even wait to get home to feel superior to the rest of us. So, like an 8-year-old buying new trainers in Sports Direct and asking the cashier to put the old trainers in the box so he can wear the new ones out of the store, you ask the cashier to put the old watch in the box so you can wear the new one out the store. And off you go on your merry way, with your new shiny watch weighing your wrist down. Let's rewind a bit. If I said, think of a luxury integrated bracelet sports watch, for most violent watch theft gangs, one of 2 or 3 watches will pop into their heads. They all daydream about nabbing one of those beauties at machete point one day. Remember how I said you went on your merry way? Well, it took you all of a few seconds to have that unnerving feeling like someone is watching you. Not so much of a big shot now, are you? You pull your sleeve over your new purchase and dart for the tube station, nervously aware of everyone around you. Thankfully, you made it home without losing your life, this time. That night, you're jolted awake by the sound of armed men rifling through your kitchen drawers. Heart racing, you tiptoe downstairs. You have no idea what you will do when you come face to face with them. Ah, phew. It's just the cat. A few hours later, you're woken again by a noise that sounds like a car smashing through your front door. Nope. False alarm. It's just the central heating boiler firing up. This continues for a few nights, each one a festival of paranoia and false alarms, until you finally admit defeat. You head to the bank and set up a safety deposit box for your flex piece. You promise yourself you'll take it out for all those special occasions. That was a year ago. You know, those special occasions that are just around the corner. There's always next year, right? Right, let's keep this one short and sweet. The final watch to make this list needs no introduction, but I'll give it one anyway. As the saying goes, if Carlsberg did watches, it would probably be the best watch in the world. But thankfully, they don't, if that brown water that they call beer is anything to go by. So, we'll have to lay that accolade at the feet of the one, the only, Rolex. And not just any old Rolex, but the most Rolexy Rolex there is, the Submariner. I thought you were going to keep this short and sweet. I hear you say, stop rambling. Sorry. So how does this icon of the watch world make this godforsaken list? Simple. It's perfect. Bulletproof reliability, immaculate finishing, and a classic design that has spawned and will continue to spawn countless pretenders. It's a watch that attracts envious glances, not just from horological nutjobs, but also from 12-year-old boys and the blue-rinsed grannies at the bingo hall. But, my friends, that is precisely why it makes the list. You see, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Submariner. Nothing at all. The problem, if I may be blunt, is you. Purchasing a Subby immediately brands you as the epitome of dullness, a beacon of unimaginative taste, and a staunch refuser of even the slightest dash of daring. You're Tim Nice but dim, a walking pair of beige chinos. The Submariner is, to put it simply, vanilla. Now don't get me wrong, I like vanilla. I'll eat vanilla flavoured things from time to time, and even enjoy them. But would I stroll into an expensive Italian ice cream parlour and order vanilla ice cream? Not a chance. I'm diving headfirst into the salted caramel with crushed honeycomb pieces. The Submariner is everything a watch should be, but simultaneously, meh. So, there we have it. My 5 watches. I'm certain that every word I've spoken has provoked intense disagreement. But since you've endured it to the bitter end, let me extend my heartfelt congratulations. You, my dear viewer, are a certified masochist. If my oddball take on the watch world has tickled your fancy, please do like and subscribe. I'm open to critiques and suggestions, so feel free to comment. I'll respond to as many of you as possible, which should be a breeze. Hi Mum. Please, do drag your friends into the delightful chaos. I need to get monetised so I too can join the never-ending Submariner waitlist. And finally, cherish the watches that you love, and especially ignore the advice of a rambling moron on the internet. But just one more thing. Don't buy a fucking Hublot.